So here again, I'm saying uh, with a combination of wry humor and evocative scenes of life. Good. Wry means متهكم, ساخر. Eponymous, eponymous يحمل نفس اسم الكتاب. Protagonist and antagonist. Protagonist, the hero, بطل الفيلم. Antagonist, الشخصية المكروهة في الفيلم. Okay, we are done. Here we are done. Of course, engaging tales. Engaging, pleasant and interesting. Engaging, جذاب. Okay. Some other types of books. We have a journal. A journal is a written record of what you have done each day. A learning journal, for example. It is also a publication containing academic articles published at regular intervals, e.g., every 3 months and this stuff. Okay? So a journal, the first meaning we want is يوميات, دفتر اليومية. Okay? يوميات. This is journal. But a journal, نشرة. Okay? نشرة دورية. Okay? This is the second meaning. It is also a publication containing academic articles published at regular intervals. في فترات متزامنة ثابتة. Okay? ده يعني نشرة أسبوعية, نشرة شهرية. Okay? Memoir. The plural is memoirs. Okay? Memoir, مذكرات, memoirs. Okay? A memoir is a written record of a person's own life, typically by a politician or military figure. Okay? مذكرات. We have an encyclopedia, is a book or set of books containing articles arranged in alphabetical order, dealing with the whole of a human knowledge or part of it. موسوعة. Next we have anthology, مقتطفات أدبية توضع في كتيب مثلا أو في كتاب. Okay, so anthology is a collection of, for example, poems or short stories by different authors. A manual, الدليل الاستخدام, is usually a technical book with instruction, for example, a car manual. Okay, car manual. دليل الاستخدام. Logbook. A logbook is a book that records events, times, etc. For example, all the journeys made by a lorry or ship. اللي هو السجل. سجل السفينة, okay, سجل السفينة يعني عدد الطلعات والنزلات. عدد السفريات, for example, الشهري. Okay, a logbook is a book that records events, times, etc. For example, all the journeys made by a lorry or ship. Okay. Next, we have other expressions for talking about books. Good. I'm reading a book about the history of Ireland. It's compulsive reading. Compulsive reading means so interesting that you do not want to stop reading it. And that's why we say it's a compulsive reading. Difficult to stop once you have started. This is formal, of course. Or it's one of those books you just can't put down. It's a book, it's a can't put down book. It's a can't put down book. It means you cannot put it down. Once you have started reading it, you cannot put it down. Okay? So it's very interesting. So it's very informative. Informative gives a lot of useful information. This is informative. Okay? Nancy Reilly's novel about mental breakdown, published in 1950, was ahead of its time. It was ahead of its time. It means contained ideas that no one else had yet thought of or discussed at that time. Okay? I think it's clear. Good. Here, again, ahead of its time, contained ideas that no one else had yet thought of or discussed at that time. Her 1955 book, Exciting Careers for Women, was a product of its time. A product of its time means influenced by popular thought at that time. Influenced by popular thought at that time. Though the ideas seem tame and old-fashioned, even gender biased now, a reflection of that time. It was a reflection. صورة عن ذلك الفترة. It's a reflection of that time. This is the meaning of a product of its time. Okay, it means a reflection of that time, which means in Arabic صورة عن تلك الفترة وصورة عن تلك الحقبة. Okay. Bertram's latest novel is not a difficult book. In fact, it's rather lightweight, not complex, slightly negative, of course. It's slightly negative connotation. Slightly negative connotation. Lightweight. يعني من ذات الوزن خفيف. Not serious, for example. Not very serious or impressive, you can say. Lightweight. And the opposite is heavyweight, okay? Not complex, slightly negative connotation. It's good bedtime reading. It's good bedtime reading. Nice to read in bed. Okay, nice to read in bed. Okay, his last one was heavy going. His last one was heavy going. Okay, difficult to read. This is heavy going. And I just couldn't get into it. And I just couldn't get into it. It means difficult to read. Good. Okay. Difficult or couldn't get into it means cannot become involved. Okay. I can't get involved. Can't get to it or couldn't get into it. It means to become involved or engage with. So if something is difficult to get into, it means you cannot get involved easily. Okay. Nonetheless, his book always attract. Okay. His books always attract a wide readership. A wide readership. Readership means number of people who read them. Number of people who read, these, books. Okay, so here, common mistake, an academic publication containing articles by different authors that is issued periodically, for example, 3 times a year, and this stuff is normally called a journal, not a magazine. Not a magazine. Okay, so an academic publication, نشرة أكاديمية, containing articles by different authors that is issued periodically. Issued تصدر periodically. Like, for example, 3 years a year, 2 times a year, okay, is normally called a journal. Okay, مجلة علمية, not a magazine. Okay, and by this we have come to the end of our class. Until we meet again, inshallah, all the best. Bye bye.